morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kurojiri, your resident tinkerer and Medarot, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Now, just last week, as we saw the armies of heaven descend with a brand new Archangel type following as a successor of Particle, this week we will be finally seeing the debut of the official successor to the Archdevil type Grain. Now, granted, we have officially seen Boson in the current event as the angel versus devil kind of thing. So I do highly suspect that a lot of what he brings to the table may stuff we already kind of guessed or surmised based on what rough translations would be giving us. But all the same, Boson is most certainly not the only surprise that will be given to us this week as we crest into Wave 3 of the Medarot 4 Celebration Anniversary. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced for this week, starting of course with the gacha banners. Now, much like it was last week, it is going to be very, very heavily gacha based this week, so if you are looking to save resources, this might be a really tough and tempting week for you. But starting that lineup, of course, is the brand new model itself, ADV-01 Boson, with Danger, Provoke, High Provoke, Wield Legs, and a new leg ability of Hostility. Now, as you saw, if you participated in the event, Boson also is capable of meta-changing into an Archdevil type of form, as you see here. And in this form, he exchanges his kit outright entirely for Revenge Sword, Deathlock, Hyper Survivor, a Float Legs, and the leg ability of Fortress. Now, much like it was with Fermion in the official introduction of the Archangel type successor, Boson also brings a lot of brand new moves to the table, as you see here. 3 brand new moves and a new leg ability on top of that. It's going to be really seriously changing up the game. But just to explain them ever so briefly and save on time, Danger basically applies the high guard effect, Metaforce effect to self, which is 80% to the leg's resist stats, and it can stack and conceal. High Provoke basically is standard provoke, but also applies a stack of endure to self. Hostility will buff all of his leg stats for every time he's attacked, up to a certain number of hits. And then Hyper Survivor is basically just regular Survivor, which is the negation of any healing effects as a negative ailment, but of course with extra power and pierce damage on top of that. Now, of course, in fashion as it was last week with all the Angel and Archangel types, this week we'll be seeing all the DVL and Archdevil types, of course, to kind of balance things out. This week, of course, highlighting behind Boson is the original Archdevil type, ADV-0 Grain, with Metaphor Seal, Confusion, Static, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Blowby. Now, Grain also is capable of meta-changing into a powerful Fortress-like form, as you see here, and exchanges his kit out entirely as well for Pile, Destroy, Count-Attack, Float Legs, and the leg ability of Adversity. So just between these two models alone, it's going to be very, very heavily interruption-based. Arguably, I'd say that Grain is probably the better rounded of the two, but Boson has much more potential for aggression. Now, in addition to these two, we also have the original DVL type from the days of Medarot 1, and that is DVL-0 Blackmail, with Triple Ghost, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Bloodstain. So, lots of models and very powerful skills to be had right off the bat, but it was honestly also to be expected and kind of set as a standard that the DVL series in particular always was known for its very high aggression, whereas the Archangel and Angel types were always known for their very superb support and healing. But these 3 are not the only 3 that are going to be joining the fray this week as highlighted gacha banners. The second wave of those to round us up to 6, starting that lineup, is DVL-01 Belzelga, with Restore, Double Sacrifice, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Carrier. Behind him, we have DVL-03 Blossomale, with Destroy, also Double Sacrifice, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Bloodstain. Blossomale, also capable of tune-up and also capable of meta-change, will exchange her kit out entirely for Triple Destroy, Multi-Legs, and the leg ability of Bloodstain as maintained as well. And then, of course, last but not least, everyone's favorite model of the DVL series, and that is DVL-04 Gothic Mate, with a Big Bang, Double Railgun, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Pure Heart. Now, of course, in fashion of Blossomale before her, Gothic Mate also is capable of meta-changing into an alternative mode, exchanging her shooting kit out entirely for Inferno, Ghost, Biped Legs, but changing her leg ability to auto-charge instead to feed back into Ghost. So, Compared to how it was last week with the Angel types, this week is going to be kind of heavy on meta change models between Boson, Grain, Blossomale, and Gothic Maid on top of that. There's a lot of really solid models to be had just between these 6 alone. If I had to break it down personally as to which ones would be like a higher priority, it honestly would be kind of hard because they all are very useful in some way. Zelga, I'd probably argue, is going to be the least useful, primarily because he's kind of a one-and-done kind of fighter. And even to a point, Blossomale as well. But Blossomale kind of redeems it with the fact that she can have, that she has tune-up treatments available to her. And then Blackmail, of course, about the same tier. So ultimately, your big-ticket bots, if you want to focus on any of them, are going to be Boson, Grain, or Gothic Maid specifically. And I'll leave the particular order of priority to you, because they are all very useful in some form or fashion. Now, with the Fierce Battles we have this week, we have yet another pleasant surprise that's been waiting for quite some time, and that is the addition of a brand new model finally making its way to the Fierce Battle pool. And that is, of course, everyone's favorite trio of Gokudo's little implicit group, HKD-0 Hakato, with Charged Plant, Hammer, Dark 300, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Fortress. Now, we've honestly heard a lot of hints and questions around Hakato for a while, but it's honestly been a number of years since a lot of people kind of remember that he was around or even had art for it. So it's really nice that he's finally joining the fray as a model that can be farmed indefinitely whenever he does come around. In addition to Hakato, we also have other returnees for Fierce Battles this week, including GBK-01 Melody Beat, with Super Repair, Wave, Missile, Multi-Legs, and the leg ability of All-Rounder. On that third row to wrap us out, we also have PCP-0 War Headley from Medarot Navi, with Optic Guard, Double Napalm, Tank Legs, and the leg ability of Heavy Arms. On this bottom row, we have SCB-0 Kana Bunbun with Triple Bug, Multi-Legs, and the leg ability of Spearhead. Next to him, we have SPR-0 Blue Corundum, the original Sapphire type from Medarot 5, with a kit of Optic Guard, Press, Beam, Sea Legs, and the leg ability of Brilliance. And then last but not least, also from Medarot 5, HMS-0 Jungarian, with Radar Sight, Double Gatling, Float Legs, and the leg ability of Mascot. Now, obviously, I know a lot of people are going to be focusing on Hakato, because he is the brand new model to be officially introduced in the Fierce Battle pool. Going to be really nice, and going to be seeing a lot of people showcasing teams with him, Gokudo, and Sagoto that finally round that team out completely. And it's about time that he did make his appearance on that too. But if I did have to give an MVP of the week to anybody, I honestly would have to give it to Kana Bunbun in priority, primarily because Bug, with his ability of Turn Skip, is a whole lot more useful compared to what a lot of other bots here bring to the table. Blue Corundum in particular might be useful, primarily for pretty fair Sea Legs with Brilliance, which is an auto heal, passive heal, I suppose, every time you charge Metaforce, but otherwise, this week is going to be kind of lax in terms of who's really good and who really isn't in terms of Fierce Battles. So ultimately, Kana Bunbun and Hakato are probably going to be the two really big tickets this week, compared to most of the others that you see here. Now, with event stuff, as far as that's concerned, much like it was last week with Fermion, we also have a brand new Super Invasion featuring Boson himself, and likely going to feature a lot of other models from the DBL and ADV series as well. Very likely it's going to have relatively mirrored modifiers, I suppose, if they want to keep them in a set, but I highly expect this one's going to be a particularly irritating fight. Primarily because Boson is kind of designed to serve as like a pseudo-tank or a pseudo-aggressor, especially with a lot of abilities of being able to boost his damage reduction and draw attention to himself. So do make sure you keep that in mind as you're fighting Boson, and try to make sure that you take him out sooner than later so he doesn't make himself a hassle. Now at the event, we will be cresting into Wave 3 of the Medarot 4 celebration and anniversary, with even more rewards, but to veterans, these are going to be all mostly rerun rewards with the exception of a new Metarotter. But for those that are unaware or have not collected any of these, this Wave 3 allows you to collect specialized limited time rewards such as the Angel Medal, which has a master in support, healing, and defense, with leg masteries in Biped, Float, and Flight. You can also earn BHM-0 Chi Behemoth, the original Behemoth type, with a kit of Stat Cleanse, Double Break, Tank Legs, and the leg ability of Heavy Arms. We can also earn the N and R rank versions of Kokuen, but we also can earn Orochi, which was the primary main antagonist to Medarot 4 and the handler of Grain in the final fight. This will be Orochi's official grand debut into Medarot S as a usable Medarot. So this will be a reward that everybody can collect and earn as a first-time reward. The rest of these, Medarot Kokuen, the Angel Medal, and Chiba Himoth will all be rerun rewards, so if you've already had them, great. This may not be super heavy of an event for you, but if you are a newcomer or a rookie, you definitely want to make sure you capitalize on these, as well as other limited time resources and rewards to be earned through Wave 3 of this event. Now, also much like it was last week, this will also be a milestone-based event system, so pure sets will be encouraged across the board. In terms of primary and most concentrated for who gives the best bonuses, Blossomail, Blackmail, Belzelga, and Gothic Mate will give you that 10% bonus per part. The Fierce Battles at a 6% bonus per part each. For Medarotters, the SR variants of Mizuchi, Hakuma, and Shuri will give you that 15% bonus each. The R rank versions 10% and the N rank at 5% respectively. Whereas Boson and Grain will give you a 6% bonus per part equipped for the regular dungeon, and Chiba Himoth will give you a 5% bonus respectively. Now, this Wave 3 will also feature boss fight much like it was with Wave 2. Now, it's going to be also pure sets encouraged, and it's going to randomly spawn boss encounters as you progress and participate in the event. Now, it will be slightly different bonuses as well, and you're probably going to end up mixing your regular bonuses and your boss fight bonuses as well. But in terms of who gives the better boss battle bonuses, Boson, of course, will give you at 15% per part, Grain will give you a 12% per part, and Chiba Himoth at a 10% per part, respectively. For Medarotters, Ikki and Kokuen specifically, the SR versions will give you a 10% bonus, the R rank versions at 5%, also including Orochi in that mix, and the N rank versions of Kokuen, Ikki, and Orochi will give you a 3% bonus each. So, it's going to be basically turning a lot of the team builds on their heads because we're getting an entirely new set of banners and bots this week, and a lot of them are meta change capable, which means it's going to be a pretty unforgiving week in my personal opinion, and you're going to want to make sure that you pick whichever ones you're going to pull for very carefully so you don't end up burning rubies. Since, as a friendly reminder, meta change type models, which for this week will be Boson, Grain, and Gothic Mate, will be very unforgiving. You either draw the entire model all at once, or you get nothing at all. Do make sure you pull with caution going forward. Now, also with the event, as something to earn with extra rewards on the backside, we also can earn Wave 3 of the event missions for extra ruby shards and gacha tickets. In particular, it's going to be very easy as well. Participate in the event a certain number of times, go and complete or attempt the super invasion just to say you did it, and you can earn a whole lot more ruby shards to stockpile your emergency funds to save for a rainy day. Same for the gacha tickets, which is basically free pulls in a permanent banner. So all the spotlights and all the 2-star models available already in the game will be available from that, basically for free Cyplasmium and ROMs for anyone that's not been playing for, say, longer than a year or so. On the community front, moving away from game stuff, we are always looking for any translators, coders, or cleaners for any of our fan translation endeavors. Right now, we are still looking to get some final help in closing out Medarot 3 as a tentative complete, so we can start working more on Medarot 4 and getting that project off the ground. So if you are knowledgeable in coding, cleaning Japanese, or know somebody that might be interested in lending a hand, definitely feel free to reach out to us in our community Discord, ask around, and we can get you in touch with the right people to fill you in on what has been done and what still needs done up to this point. Because for Medarot 3, it's mostly just final checks and bug fixes in particular at this point, but we really won't know unless we have people playtesting and kind of reporting back to say what they found. Now, the weekly art highlights here on the MNN, of course, MNK Shiki came out with yet another wonderful design of everyone's favorite zombie dog, Dead Dog, and honestly, I really can't get enough of this wonderful art. Arguably, and being completely honest, I have to say it's probably one of my favorite Ori metas of all the ones introduced in S, in my personal opinion. Of course, excluding ones like, say, Musha Beetle or Steam Gunner or Kairen or any of those, but Dead Dog is definitely one of those really big high-ups for me. And this one here by SoaZ2, highlighting a more military customized, or customized military grade type of KBT design. And honestly, I really like this because it feeds into the whole what if of, if Medarots did exist today, there's a good chance we probably would be seeing a lot of customized builds like this, very similar to how we see a lot of Gundam or Gunpla kits with customized and personalized mix and matches and kit bashes that we see all across the net. So that honestly feeds into my enthusiasm really nicely. And I really, really love seeing these. So if you'd like to see more wonderful art of these artists, definitely give both of them a follow on Twitter to show your support, and definitely to add more of their wonderful art in your feed. Cheeky in particular might be focusing a whole lot on Dead Dog, obviously, because that is his boy, but all the same, still a wonderful boy, everybody loves him, and I'm so glad to be able to finally have that set myself, actually, after making numerous polls in previous weeks as well. One final note as well before I do wrap us out, I am still always open for commission as a friendly reminder. I can do 2D art and 3D art as you see here. I can do live 2D models ready to rig, fully cut up and ready to go. 3D models fully rigged, optimized, and textured, rather basic, nothing overly special or super fancy. I can do 2D art of varying levels of degree and complexity. I can do emotes. So if you are looking for something that can definitely help you out as a content creator, but don't want to break bank doing so, definitely feel free to reach out to me and we can most certainly make something happen. My commissions are currently almost always open because, well, nobody actually reaches out right now, but that's perfectly fine. Definitely feel free to reach out to me whenever you do see this. But with all that being said, as always, I believe that covers everything for this week's episode, so it is ultimately kind of a really short week because we kind of already expected a good chunk of this to come about and to be expected, especially with the introduction of Bosan. We did kind of figure that Chief Behemoth was going to be an event reward, so a lot of it was kind of expected, and we did remember seeing hints that Hakano was coming this week as well, so relatively exciting, but also not a lot of stuff that was brand new, so to speak. But with all that being said, as always, if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page, or the Metabots Forever community on there that I do also manage. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below if you want to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes any new links to merchandise, fan art, contests, or anything else of the like. The Discord server is the first place you're going to hear it before it goes anywhere else on the net. You can also reach out to me personally on Twitter at IsaGamiKura if you have any questions, feedback, comments, or would love just to stop in and say hello or commission me. I always leave my DMs open on purpose for that very reason. In addition, if you are a content creator of any kind, VTuber, streamer, YouTuber, whatever you might be, also feel free to reach out to me if you want to make a collaboration happen, whether that means having you here on my channel at the desk here at the MNN, or if you'd like to have me stop in on your channel for a friendly game or a visit, I would absolutely love to coordinate with that. On the topic of collabs, for those that did tune in or did watch or go back and see my recent collaboration with some dear friends of mine as we played a friendly game of Uno on Sunday, I am very thankful for those that did tune in or did want to stop by, even for just a little bit. And on that note, definitely give my dear friends a follow as well and show your support from the Medarot community as we spread across the globe. In particular with Sane Cisco, Vector Spaceman, and Ryoko Mizuno. All of them are very wonderful friends of mine, very good content, very funny friends as well. And if you thought that I enjoyed a lot of stuff, or if you saw our Uno stream and had a lot of fun, definitely show your support to them as well. But with all that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping by, just as you always do. And until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.